Hey YouTube, it's Mark with another video on what works for me. Today I'm in front of my office here. I want to show you how I got internet to my office. It's a little distance from the house, and I'll make a quick video on how easy that was. I guess the goat's got something to say. Okay, so I want to show you how I got internet from that room right there all the way out to my office, which is that little gray building coming off of the tan building. So here I am inside my office now, and I want to show you just how easy this was without running wires, putting up antennas to go through the air. It's this nifty little device called a Powerline wall plug adapter. This is one that I removed from inside the house, but the one I'm using in my office is, move my monitor, is right there. And as you can see, it's plugged into the wall, and there's a blue Ethernet cable comes out of there and goes up and around and ends up there by my computer. Now, as you can tell, these things are kind of bulky. It's like 5.5 inches long, and if you look, back there again, I got it pretty wide open back there. But if you have tight spaces, like we do behind like our TV, it still works, but it's kind of tight back there. They make smaller ones that don't have the plug in the front to plug, but then you lose an outlet. So just, this is what worked for us. This particular model was a PLA-407. It worked real well. By the way, you can see I have an adapter on there. This was a concern I had when I first got them. It was kind of a gamble because I didn't figure it was going to work anyway, because some of our outlets in the house don't have the ground, the third ground part of the plug, and I assumed that it probably uses that one as part of the data transmitting wire or whatever. But it has worked really well for us without that ground wire. So if you have an older house like we do, we have an old 1800s farmhouse, so hasn't affected it for us. So I would show you how to install these, but I think probably if you need internet somewhere, you probably know how to plug something into the wall and plug an Ethernet cable into that, because that's basically how it works. Is most of these come in packs of 2. We actually have 3 in our situation, but you start with 2. One plugs into the wall by the router, and then you basically plug an Ethernet cable from the router to the adapter in the wall, and then wherever you need internet, you plug in the other one into the wall, and from there you run cable to your device. And that's what makes it cool. Is in our situation, we're not in the same building, but it's the same power source, so it works. And that's what's cool about these, is you can have a fairly large property, and if you have buildings pretty far away and you have electricity in there, you can also get internet. I was a little bit skeptical of how well it would work for us out here, and I'll show a picture of our property a little bit later, and I'll show you why I was concerned about it. But we'll do a speed test real quick here. This is speedof.me. We only get 3 meg out here. We're not supposed to even get that, but we go to church with a guy that knows a lady that works at our DSL provider, that she went ahead and authorized for him to try it, because the computer generated maps said we're too far away. But they went ahead and tried it, and as you could see there, I'm getting 3 meg here, and that's after running through all that power lines pretty far. Okay, so here's a layout of our property, and I just wanted to quickly go over why I was concerned that this may not work. This is our whole property. This is about an acre, and this is our house, our garage, and my little office. Our internet modem is right about here. My office used to be in this room here, So I plugged directly into the modem, so I had, the full internet available. And I was concerned about coming out here because our electricity comes in from the road, comes into this pole right here, this circle, and it's a 200 amp service. When it comes down, there's a panel on this post, and I ran 100 amps to the house, and then when I built this garage about 5 years ago, I ran 100 amps there. So this is the main panel, and then we have a sub panel in the house about here, and then there's another one about here in the garage for it. So the internet is plugged into the wall here with the Powerline adapter. So it has to go to this panel, under the ground to this panel, from here into this panel. And then when I brought my office in last summer, there's a small panel here just for with a few breakers in it for my office. So that's quite a few panels, and I just assumed that wouldn't work. So I guess I'll just show you real quick. We have three. We have the one for the modem, obviously, and then we have one at the far end, this very end of the wall. We have a TV with a Fire Stick on it, and the Wi-Fi is very sketchy because our house is old and the walls are really thick and there's a lot of them. I mean, we are the definition of a non-open concept. So barely any Wi-Fi here. So it works very well here, and it works almost as good here, if not just as good out here. And I assumed it wouldn't, but anyway, that's our situation. If someone has a similar one, I guess this proves that it does work if you're afraid to try it. So hopefully this video helped you out if you're looking for options, whether, in our situation it's an office, or you might have a barn that you want to put cameras in, or whatever it may be. These are pretty nice, but hopefully it helped you out. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If not, we're sorry, we tried. But if you're feeling generous, hit the subscribe button. I'll also put a link to this exact same model in the description below. If it's something you need, you can buy it through that link, and it actually helps us out a little bit. We would appreciate it. Again, thanks for watching, and God bless.